Alright.
Green bean, are we going live?
There's nothing.
Hey y'all, welcome to my weekly Live with Sam Yoder show. I'm your host, Sam Yoder. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you guys like the show, make sure you share this out to your friends so everybody gets to meet my guests and we get to have a good time. If I can have our people in our audience, please turn your volumes down. Thank you very much. I want to take a quick second and say thank you to our sponsors that help make this show possible. We have Texas Skid Steer. They're located in Springtown, Texas. My friends Bobby Miles. You can find them online at texasskidsteer.com. You can reach them at 817-220-0100. I have a whole list here, so y'all just hold on. Also, licensed to carry handgun classes. They do the licensed to carry classes. You can call or text them at 817-726-7082. Mr. Bobby Miles will take care of you, help you out any way he can. Also, the beaded cuff. The best way to find them is on Facebook at the Beaded Cuff, and they make some really cool Native American inspired bead work. They do earrings, they do the cuffs for ladies, and they can put your initial, your brand, whatever you want on that. Also, Miles Realty, they're located in Springtown, Texas. We have like 1 million Mileses on here, which is great. You can find them online at TommyMilesRealty.com. Also, Kelvin Miles for Justice of the Peace. Kelvin is running for Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1 of Parker County. Early voting is May 14th through the 18th, and the actual voting date is on May 22nd. His slogan is fair, honest, and integrity. Sorry, honest, fair, and integrity. Also, our friends at JC's Quick Mart located in Peaster, Texas. I was actually just there today, got me a nice little breakfast sandwich because I didn't get up in time to cook breakfast. They have breakfast, lunch, and I do believe they have dinner, but they're located at 8801 FM 920 in Peaster, so make sure you guys stop by and check them out. If our producer will switch our camera, I will introduce our guest for tonight, Mr. Are we good? Are we good, Producer Greeny? We're good? Stephen Stiteler, thanks for coming and being on the show.
Good to be here, little brother.
So, did you share this video?
I shared it. It's going, but it's. I think we're lapsed here a little bit.
Are we lapsed? There's normally I'm going to share this out actually, and you guys that are watching, or y'all that are watching, feel free to share this out with your friends so everybody gets to meet Stephen Stiteler. We are just going to have a good old time tonight, and talk about all kinds of fun stuff. So
now that Sam's got the
commercials out of the way, that's the most important.
Sounded like announcements in kindergarten again.
Come on, Green Bean. Thank you for that. Thank you.
It was.
Was it pretty drawn? You know what? I'm going to have you do the commercial break.
Just chanting at everybody about whatever they got to do and what they're interested in and what they're.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to. Hey, I forgot to tell everybody about the music.
Have a little more fun with it.
The Music Center here at 106 West Main Street in Azle, Texas, where we're broadcasting from. This is like the
just the most important one.
Yeah, only
that one. Don't worry about it.
I know we can't.
Don't worry about that. We'll be broadcasting live from the back of this pickup next week.
Hopefully they won't kick us out of here. But on a serious note, though, the Music Center right next to El Paseo. This is where we do our show from, and they do music lessons. They do. Let me just.
Did El Paseo pay for that plug?
Oh no, but they will.
Okay,
they will. We're working on them.
While you're just throwing in free plugs, I would like to say happy birthday to my mother tonight.
Mom, Kathy Stiteler,
and Papa tomorrow night.
Kyle, come here. Yeah, come here. Come up here. Come up here. We're gonna have Stephen's son come up here and say happy birthday to your grandma.
Say happy birthday, Mom and Papa.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
Mom and Papa.
Tell her you love her.
I love you, Mom.
Tomorrow's Papa's birthday.
Is tomorrow's your dad's birthday?
Yeah, I just said I want to say happy birthday to my mom today and my dad tomorrow, and then my sister on Sunday.
Nice, man. That's a lot of
birthdays. April's a popular month in the family.
My birthday's next Saturday. I'll have you know. Happy birthday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm turning. I don't even know.
He's been trying to be in the family for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Started with jumping the fence.
Yep. So also, guys, make sure you guys stop by and check out the Music Center in Azle, Texas, 106 West Main Street. This is where we broadcast from. They do all kinds of instrument lessons. So if you want to learn how to play guitar, fiddle, violin, whatever you want to learn, you can learn it here at the Music Center. Also, they sell tons of instruments, so make sure you guys stop by and check them out.
It works for most people, but not Sam.
Not me.
He doesn't take lessons real well.
Green bean.
What were you feeding before you came here?
What?
A little
What?
bit of grain on our shirt.
Well, what? What are you talking about? You know what? The dry
You
clean.
take the boy out of the Amish, but you can't take the Amish out of the boy.
Whatever. Y'all comment below. Let us know where you guys are watching from. and y'all, we're gonna have a good time tonight. I can tell you that. So that I can tell you, right, Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
See what happened was.
So Stephen Stiteler is. Where do you live now? Alvord, Texas.
Alvord.
And you're originally from Michigan, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have I known you?
A while. A long time. 2000.
8, 9, 10?
No, it was before that. It had to be 08.
08, something
At
like
least
that?
08. Well, when did you leave the Amish? 05.
I don't even, but I didn't know what
How
year.
old are you now? You didn't know what year it was. They didn't use calendars. Even the Egyptians were further along.
See.
I mean, what year did you leave the Amish? How old are you? 23. You're going to be 26.
No, I'll be 30. I'll be 30 next
You will
week.
not be. Are you 30 already?
Yeah,
Holy
bud.
smokes. And you left the Amish when you're 18.
So yeah, whatever.
So the Amish mathematics on that would be.
Well, I've been gone for about 12 years.
That would be 12 years.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and take 2018 minus 12.
Yeah. Yep. So I've been gone for a while. You're
gone for a while.
Green beans fired. That's all I know. Go to work, Green
So I
beans.
met you in 2006 for a brief minute.
Yeah.
And you could, I don't even think you could speak a whole lot of English then.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Okay.
You knew a couple English words, and then you had a hiatus to Hawaii for a little while.
Yeah.
Kind
Before that.
found yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I refound you here in Fort Worth by accident, or I guess you kind of refound me by accident.
Yeah. That's.
And then we kind of from there, like.
The rest is history.
Yeah. Just started,
we've had a love-hate relationship since then.
Yeah. He loves me. I hate him. No, in all honesty, I do want to congratulate you on getting married.
Hey, thanks.
Finally, I never thought it would be before me for sure, but that you'd find somebody that could put up with you.
Hey, you know what? I'm with you. You got to meet her tonight for the first time.
Yeah,
She's sitting in the audience.
I think it's going to be a good deal. I like it. I'm excited to be there.
Yeah,
so.
you got to see what the wedding dress looks like, and I don't know. You said it was black.
It's the prettiest black wedding dress I've ever seen. He's always trying to get stuff out of me. He never will, though. He knows
these ratings are going to go down real quick having this guy on the show. So Stevie, you team rope. What is this vest you're wearing? What does it say? 2016 team roping finals champion. Where did you buy that at?
Yeah, well, they sell them on the corners every other rodeo, so you can find one out on the street corner. But no, I got kind of lucky that year and had a really good year. And
where did you win this at?
This was for the Mid-States Rodeo, which is like Michigan, Ohio, Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. So.
Hey, you guys comment. Let us know if you guys can hear us and see us. Okay, so make sure everything's good on here. So what you do now is you steal team rope and you haul horses for a living, right? So I put a post out today and told everybody we're going to be talking about the ELD mandate, which every trucker in the country.
Can we get that volume turned down, bud?
Oh, on this? No, that's the best way. It's turned down all the way. So. You team rope. How did you get started team roping? Because you used to race cars or something, right?
I started. Yeah, my dad was into racing cars.
Okay.
So I started when I was younger. I was always into, I guess, anything with a motor, 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, cars, all that stuff. And obviously, my dad grew up doing it with his dad, and my dad had a hot rod growing up, and it was always at racetracks, and I went to racetracks, and so I got into racing go-karts and helped one of my best friends and his dad with their cars, and then eventually swapped out of that into horses, thinking that it would be cheaper.
Thinking that it'd be a better idea. And how do you, because you grew up in the city, right? You grew up in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
And you weren't around horses, right? You didn't know anything about horses or Amish people.
Never even been on a pony ride till I was 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Never even. Actually, as far as I can remember, I'd never even petted a horse at a petting zoo until then.
Really? So you got started.
Until 18, 19 years old.
So how old were you when you started roping?
20 or 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just started roping the dummy, and after a while you started getting on horses, and here you are, or what?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. So
self-taught.
Yeah, so you started.
There's a lot of incorrect stuff about it, but it works.
Right? Yeah, you know, people have told you you'll never be fast the way you rope, but you still probably kick their butts, right?
I've been told that several times when I started, and a lot of stuff's changed, and some of those people helped me. But
yeah, so where do you go rope at now? Where are some places you go rope at now?
As far as practice or competing?
Competing.
All over, anywhere from here to the Northeast. Anywhere. I've roped in Colorado. This is about as far west. I've never gone out and roped in the World Series in Vegas, so I've never gone out there. I've roped in New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, and then everything from there to the Northeast.
Okay.
So
how did you get into hauling horses? Because I kind of know this story, but I want you to tell people the story.
To be honest with you, I hate to give you any sort of credit ever. But see what happened was. That's how all good stories start at the Greenwood Saloon. I came down here to visit this ex-Amish friend of mine, and I was hauling campers at the time, and came down and spent some time and realized I liked it down here more than I did up to the north there. And obviously
the Great White North.
Yeah, there's a lot more team roping down here than there is up there, so I decided to try to completely change my life and come this direction. So,
right. Which is better, because Texas is better, I mean, right?
Well, I mean, there's things you miss about Michigan. You know, you grew up from Michigan, so you know, obviously the fall is awesome, the summer's awesome, it gets really hot here, and it's miserable sometimes, but as far as team roping, there's nowhere else to be.
Right, if you want to rope.
And then, obviously, with you and your brothers, pushing me to come down this way and hang out.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, come on down.
This guy used to stop by the house hauling camper trailers. What were you doing hauling camper trailers anyway? So you're hauling them out of Indiana?
Out of Indiana, yep. And then I'd haul them mainly to Canada, to Quebec, Canada, and then
where they don't speak English.
Yeah, they don't speak any English, and it's not Pennsylvania Dutch, which is the only thing.
Right, the only other thing that I
know by accident.
And we can't repeat what you know on camera.
No, that's your fault. That is your fault.
but
I know about 3 legal words, and then. So basically, I would haul one down here a month just to come hang out with these guys for a couple days, him and his brother, and then decided I liked it, and the roping availability down here was way more. So I decided to come down here.
So how did you get into hauling horses? Because you were driving back and forth.
Well, right? it was kind of a messed up deal. I had to make. I got rid of pretty much everything when I decided to come down, and obviously I lived with you and your brother for a little while.
Yeah, we know. All you had was a phone bill. I mean, that's about all you had.
Yeah, it was brutal. So. I got rid of pretty much everything, and I only had about 3 front tack of a horse trailer, gooseneck horse trailer, loads of stuff. So in order to go get those loads of stuff and come back, I just started booking horses. And it all kind of started by accident when somebody knew that I drove a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And I was hauling campers, and they said, this guy hauls campers, but he rodeos and ropes and stuff too, and I think next week he's going to Texas to a roping. And this was before I lived with you guys. I came down to that truck roping that I finished second for that truck in Glenrose.
Yep.
And
brother-in-laws or something.
The brother-in-laws deal. Yeah, I came down here and me and Joe went and entered up there, and I ended up second by 1 point, which was still crazy. But when on that trip, somebody had said, I think this guy drives everywhere, so he's obviously used to driving, and he's going from Michigan to Texas. And these folks needed a horse in Alabama, so I didn't even know how to really quote it, and I kind of figured it out, quoted it, and it paid enough for my fuel to get from there to here and my entry fees for that truck roping. And from then on, I hauled 2 horses back home that trip. Obviously sold my 1 head horse to your brother.
Right, yeah, which Lucy, by the way, yep.
Yeah, so I...
Also known as Lucifer on a bad day.
Yeah, Lucifer. She was Lucifer with me, and she's Lucy with Joe.
Yeah.
So. But, yeah, after that, when I decided I was going to move down here after talking to mainly Joe more, but I talked to you quite a bit too, and then started making those trips back and forth, it just was word of mouth, and it really just got busy. And the thing was, at the beginning, I was way cheaper than I am now, just because I really didn't know what to charge.
Yeah, you were just kind of winging it.
I was just kind of, like this covers my trip, and I'm making something cool.
Yeah.
Then you start looking at depreciation of your vehicle, wear and tear on your truck and trailer. And then obviously, as it's developed further and further and further today, with not only the ELD mandate that is the new big thing that everybody stirred up.
Everybody's talking about that, so let's talk about that for a second. What exactly does ELD mean?
Well, the ELD is an electronic logging device.
So basically means that
So like right now, anybody that is a regulated driver, which is a commercial vehicle, but a state trooper or anybody would consider them a regulated driver. They need to be under rules while driving.
Okay, all right. So they can't just wing it.
So recreational is not regulated.
Okay.
Okay, so like for example, somebody like if Joe or you decide to go to rodeos.
Yep.
You are not regulated. That's
okay,
not
so
what
I can
you
go
do.
to I can
you
go
can
to,
go to rodeos. You can go do whatever you want to do. You are not a regulated motorist because
I'm just going to the grasslands to go ride for the weekend.
That you're completely
Okay. But what if I want to go? Exempt. What if I want to go to Nashville or Michigan to go to a rodeo?
There's still a gray area there, but you are exempt because that's not your living.
Okay.
Okay. So somebody like Casey Jones,
right?
Technically, by the way the laws are written, he's a regulated motorist. He should run, right now, not an electronic logging device because they're exempt for livestock until the 19th of June.
And then what happens?
Well, what's happened is they've already postponed it once. This is the second postponement because they're trying to get it thrown out for livestock.
And you and I are going to go talk to Trump about this deal anyway after the show.
Yeah, if you can get a hold of him, that'd be...
Well, we
he's
know
probably got a helicopter he could get here.
No, he'd be on Air Force 1B. So, hey, I'm going to take a quick break from this. I'm going to take some comments from Facebook because this is a Facebook Live show. We want to interact with our audience and say hi. So wherever you guys are watching, comment where you're watching. Please share this out so that everybody gets to join our conversation and see what's going on. And I want to take some comments from Facebook. If you guys want us to give you a birthday shout out or just want to say hi, let us know and we'll comment. What do you have going on over there on your phone, Stifler?
I'm just looking at your goofy self.
At my goofy self?
Yeah. They could make a bobblehead of you.
There probably is bobbleheads of me. Chris Miller said, watching from snowy Michigan. Speaking of, it's nice.
Speaking of, he is a regulated driver.
Okay, let's talk about Chris Miller.
And Chris Miller can tell you some stories. I just talked to him actually, I'd say probably 2 weeks ago or so, actually bouncing some stuff off of him. About the electronic log.
Okay, so he's a commercial driver, like he
is a commercial driver. He hauls eggs for Meijer.
Eggs for Meijer, okay.
Yep.
So he's like fragile load everywhere he goes.
Yeah, which is very difficult on Michigan roads.
Right, because it's like ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Yeah, it's a bad deal. It's really bad because the roads suck.
But I did talk to him about it. He shared with me a wonderful experience that he had recently getting pulled over by a commercial officer.
Okay, what happened? Can we tell the story?
Oh yeah, he has an electronic logging device. So
what exactly? What is the electronic logging device? Is it a device you put on your vehicle?
It's connected to your vehicle, connected to either a phone, a tablet, or a monitor that comes with the device.
Okay.
And depends. There's a couple different kinds. Back several years ago now, when these things first started, they would actually control the computer in your truck.
So they could shut you down?
They would shut the truck right down to limp mode.
Which means you can go about, 5 or 10
miles? About 30 miles an hour when you hit your time limit. When you've hit your regulated limit of driving time, it would shut your truck down to a limp mode, which would allow you to get off the road safely.
Right, to a truck stop.
To somewhere, which sometimes there isn't. So, probably the last 5 to 7 years, when you start to see these trucks that are just parked on the shoulder,
overpass
and you're like, what the heck? Well, they ran out of time more than likely, and that's where they ran out of time.
Okay.
In his case, he got stopped, and there was, I don't remember the whole story to what he entirely got stopped for, but there was something about him driving in the left lane for too long or something.
Right. Okay.
And so basically, when the officer pulled him over, he told him, "Get back in your sleeper." And the officer got right on, and he emails his electronic logging device back to his squad car. And so
from Chris's truck, all
the data off his truck goes back to this guy's squad car, and then he goes back and he can review it and go through it, and he can write you for violations from
because it has track of everything that you've been doing. It has track of everything in that vehicle. No, that's bad.
So and I mean, as far as that goes, I don't know how far it goes back and how far it shows, because running a paper logbook, which is what I run,
you can kind of
only have to have 7 days with your previous 7 days. On the electronic, they might be able to back up and erase. I don't know how that works because I haven't had to run it yet.
Right.
But the paper logbook, I've only got to keep my previous 7 days with me to show proof of where I've been for 7 days.
Okay.
And then, you know, obviously what I've done today.
Right.
And so they'll and I've heard some stuff from other guys that drive too, that they can write tickets from, you know, I've heard a crazy story that somebody got pulled over and they figured out that they were speeding in a different state, and I don't see how that they could write a ticket in a different state. But being that they're a federal motor carrier and it's a federal officer, that may be, I don't know.
Right. So what happened to Chris?
He ended up, I think he ended up arguing with the guy on, it was something to do with traveling in the left lane, but his logbook was all good. He only runs 1 day or 2 days a week that he has to run a logbook. Because if you're within 150 miles of home, your home base, you don't have to run a logbook. You're just kind of free roll.
So, I mean, okay, all right.
So he runs like 1 or 2 days a week. He runs from Michigan to Illinois and then back to Michigan.
Okay.
So he has to run that log to go that far. Because number one, he's gone more than 150 miles, and number two, he's crossed state lines.
Okay.
Which are both requirements to then run a logbook.
Okay, so you as a transporter now, so as of right now, you don't have to do the ELD deal.
I don't have to run electronic, but I do have to run a logbook.
Okay.
As a commercial transporter.
Okay, and are you a commercial transporter?
I am a commercial transporter.
Okay, and so you can tell me it's classified information if you don't want to talk about anything past this point.
Like anything else, there's gray areas.
Okay.
There are gray areas, and I'll tell you the biggest gray area.
Okay, what's the biggest?
The biggest gray area with this is that there's a DOT number and there's an MC number.
Okay, what's the difference between a DOT and an MC number?
The DOT number, anything over 10,000 pounds has to have a DOT number. Any combination vehicle. And they're messing with some stuff now, but the way that it was for a while, like my dad's got a camper.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for 1 second. Anything that's being said on this show cannot be held against me or him. This is simply us having a conversation on our perspective of what's going on, because I don't want anybody to say, look, I watched this show and this is what this guy said, so therefore they're going to argue with a police officer or anybody. Right. This is simply us having a conversation.
And that's the biggest gray area with this whole topic.
Okay.
Because 90% of what you see on Facebook is interviews with random people, or like me. This is my perspective.
Right.
Now, who you get pulled over by, that's their perspective.
Right.
And the craziest part is that the officer that you get pulled over by will give you their perspective or the way that they interpret the law.
Right.
The FMCSA, who's the one who writes the laws, will give you their interpretation of the law, and your state Secretary of State in Michigan or Department of Transportation in Texas or whatever it's called in your state has their interpretation of the law.
Right.
So, for example, when I've been stopped before, the state trooper for the state that I was licensed out of told me that my Secretary of State was wrong.
Right, and so
my Secretary of State tells me that the trooper's wrong.
So what are you going to do?
It's a gray area. It's all who you run into and what their interpretation of the law is. And I don't think anybody's trying to scam anybody out of anything. I think it's just the way certain people take it. And obviously, if it's an officer trying to write you a ticket, they're going to interpret it in the way they can write you a ticket. And then, like in my case, it's my job to go say, hey, no, no, no. And I got out of my big ticket.
Okay, so can we talk about your big ticket?
We can if you'd like.
So
the biggest ticket here was when you left the Amish. That was the biggest ticket.
Shut up. You're fired from the show. So you got pulled over here a while back, and what happened? They shut you down
a couple years ago.
No, it hasn't been
2 years ago now. 2 years ago. Labor Day weekend 2 years ago.
When they shut you down on the side of the road, and down. you.
And in all honesty, I was a recreational vehicle then. We'd been to rodeos. They pulled me over. They looked up on Facebook, or they Googled my name in their squad car. Facebook came up, obviously. My Facebook's got stuff all over it. They saw that we'd been to 5 rodeos in 4 days, and 12 hours before we were pulled over, we were 12 hours from where I was, which would put you over your driving time. The difference was we had like 4 guys in the truck, so we took turns driving, and we were recreational at the time. And even when we got stopped, we were recreational. So that's the gray area, is that my combination weight of my vehicle, I was required to have a DOT number because of my weight.
Okay.
Required to have, in that case, a Class A license, not technically a Class A CDL license.
Right.
Because of the combination weight. No air brakes, obviously. And then the biggest gray area now with the way that they've changed the federal motor carrier, the one that writes the laws has changed things. Livestock is actually an exempt commodity. So yes, I have to have a DOT number because of my weight, and I can register as an exempt commodity, and then you also have the option to register private property. So now, and this is where a bunch of gray areas come in.
Okay.
The way that it says it, if you're exempt for hire, as long as you're not hauling to racetracks or shows, and again, that is a gray area, depends who's calling what a show.
Right.
Is it horse showing where you wear the fancy clothes?
Right.
Is a rodeo a show?
Right.
Is a rodeo recreational?
Right.
It all depends who you run into and what you say.
Yeah. So what's your advice on getting pulled over?
My advice is to not answer or say anything until you're asked, and answer with simple yes and no's.
Okay.
Don't share any more information than you need to. Let them ask you your questions, and see where it gets you.
Okay. All right. We're going to take some questions from Facebook. Kathy Stiteler said, "Get the deer out, Green Bean. We don't need the deer." Said Sam needs a calculator. We race donkeys as well, Sam. Yeah, that's a good.
No, that's a Joe.
That's
you were not part of that deal.
No, I think
you heard the story though.
Yeah, I was. I think I showed up later or something. You and your dad.
Yeah. Oh.
And my brother went to.
Me and Dad and Joe together is well. You guys together is dangerous too. But me, Dad, and Joe went to Boyd Speedway,
which is a small dirt track. Yeah.
And they have sprint cars, and the sprint car circuit travels all summer long, and it's very rare that they would show up at Boyd Speedway.
Right.
Maybe once, maybe 2 times a year. And these guys happen to show up the one weekend that Dad's in town for 2 days.
Right.
And so, of course, like I said, Dad grew up with motorsports. I grew up enjoying it with Dad, and so that's one thing we still. I mean, we haven't gone to a race since that actually, but that's something that we'll still, I'm sure, do. And so we go, and Joe was available that night, so he decided to go with us. And they're advertising the donkey races, and this was like a stupid intermission thing, like when they let the track they pick up the garbage on the track, and they let the cars work on the guys work on the cars in the pits before the actual final races of the night, and the feature races there. And Dad's like, man, there's a lot of people here for these sprint cars, and Joe looks at Dad dead serious and says, oh, I thought all these people were here for the donkey races. Like we missed the donkey races.
Yeah,
I never even saw a donkey.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine that there would have been a donkey at a racetrack, especially with sprint cars as loud as they get. But
apparently that was the
highlight of the deal. And Joe was sitting there patiently the whole night, just waiting for the donkeys.
Because Joe, that's how Joe operates. That's what he thinks is really happening. Tiffany Lynn says, hello, Sam. Kristen Martin said, hey, watching from Rosenberg, Texas. What's up, Kristen? Brad Sterling said, you two knuckleheads, also watching from Michigan. Do you know Brad Sterling?
I know Brad Sterling. I just saw him. When was it, Brad? I'd say probably a month ago. It was in February, right after the Lansing Rodeo.
Okay,
February 19th or 20th.
Brad used to work for Rick. I don't know if he still does. Does he still work for Rick Leak Quarter Horses?
That's where I picked up from, was from Leaks. I think he works somewhere else too, but he works there. And, I met him through you guys down here, and he's been awesome ever since. Yeah, he's sent several horses with me now.
He's
always got a mud hole of a parking lot, and he's like, yeah, just pull that clean truck and trailer right there. Go ahead and put it in that mud hole.
How tall do you reckon Brad is? He's pretty.
It's hard to say because I grew up with my dad being 7'1", 7 foot. But Brad's like a 2x4 too.
Yeah, my
dad's a bigger guy.
Brad's got to wear like 28 jeans, right? And he's like this tall.
So I have a hard time. I mean, I've grown up playing basketball around tall people and stuff too, but I don't. He's tall.
He's a tall guy, but he worked at the quarter horse place. When I first left the Amish, I used to go. My brother Joe actually worked there, cleaning stalls on the weekends.
At Leaks?
But I cleaned stalls there as well. Joe came and picked me up.
You cleaned a stall?
But
that's way too much labor for you. Get too dirty. It's not a wood shop. Everything's nice and clean.
Joe came and picked me up while he was working there. We went and cleaned stalls. And I remember I was speaking to Joe in Pennsylvania Dutch, and he's like, Sam, shut up. Speak English around here.
Joe's all worried about getting kicked out for being Amish.
Yep. Kathy, your dad said it's snowing in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. What's your dad do? I thought your dad lived in New York or something.
No, but that was like 3 years ago. You talk to him as much, or if not more, than I do.
I probably Snapchat.
Every time I talk to my dad, he says, "I talked to Yoder the other day." Like, shoot, I've been busy. I haven't talked. My dad will call me 2-3 times. I'll call him back. We'll miss each other for a week, and then finally talk at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, yep.
And I talked to Yoder the other day, and he's doing this and he's doing that.
All your dad does is
he knew when the wedding was before I did.
Yeah, well, because I sent him an invitation before you got.
I mean, I've been here for this guy through thick and thin.
Oh, here we go.
Mostly thick, and I barely even get. To be honest with you, I get an invitation soaking wet. I mean, I can't even make it out.
You got an invitation that was soaking wet. What happened?
Well, that's not your fault.
It was the mail carrier.
That was the mail carrier. Didn't close the door out there on the highway.
Yeah,
but either way. If it would have come earlier when it was nice out, there wouldn't have been water to get it wet.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Or even a text message, hey,
I couldn't get a hold of you. You were busy.
There's never been a time that you couldn't get a hold of me. I didn't call you back.
Yeah, let's not worry about this. This guy owes me. Do we want to talk about the time I drove to Houston and back, and then I had to drive in Houston back? Let's not talk about that.
We can talk about that.
You know what would be a better topic?
That's why I bought dinner.
From Houston?
Yeah.
No, dude.
I don't know what the breakfast was that I owe you. We'll get breakfast another day. But that's what that dinner was for the Houston deal. Okay. That was a horrible deal. Yeah, I drive. There's not a whole lot of friends.
That's been about 2 years ago. Probably.
It was about 2 years ago. There's not a whole lot of friends. I mean, that anybody probably has that would have pulled that maneuver off. And then honestly, it wasn't really that bad of a thing by the time he got there.
Dude, I drove all the way to Houston, tore down the booth, drove all the way home.
I believe
and then ended up driving halfway back to Houston to rescue you on the side of the road. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's not. I will give you that.
Okay, but
I told you it was thick and thin. That was the thin part. You should hear the thick parts that I've been there for him for.
Oh boy, bud. No, I don't know about that. Woo. But so I want to talk. Speaking of trips, you went to Florida recently, and you were hauling horses.
Did.
And you told me this story about staying up all night long and roping calves off the highway.
That's confidential information.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, I was very tired.
Okay, so let's hear this. Let's hear the story that you want to tell. So it's not confidential.
Well, so I'd been driving for a while, and I got to Florida, dropped off a horse.
Never mind. I don't know what I was talking about driving.
I got to Florida, dropped off a horse, and I was about 6 hours from Ocala, which is where I had a few drops.
Right.
And I should have easily made it there. Right. Well, I dropped this horse off over near Alabama in western Florida. And I get back on I-10, and I'm cruising for about 45 minutes. So now I'm about 5 hours from Ocala.
Okay.
A little over 5 hours from Ocala. And I'm going eastbound, and westbound I see a cattle pod flipped over.
Which is a possum belly, big cattle hauler.
Big cattle hauler flipped over.
Double decker.
Yep. And so I kind of started slowing down because I figured, it's livestock. I haul livestock. Maybe there's animals in there. I don't know. It's dark out. The Florida highways are fresh black asphalt.
Yep.
And so it's hard to see. Well, kind of out of the corner of my eye, I start seeing something kind of bobbing to the left, which is that side. And I see the traffic, of course, all stopped and backed up and backing up.
Right.
And so I noticed their calves running, and there's a guardrail, so they're still on the westbound side.
So there's a guardrail in the median. You're on the
I'm on the eastbound side, and they're on the westbound side. So they're running. Right. Well, you see a couple of them get hit, and then they're running right along. Just get smoked. Because people couldn't see them.
Right.
The calves were all black. There was a few white calves, but they were mainly all black.
It's at night.
It's dark. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and it was about 9:30 at night. And so I see the calves running, and then there's a break. A police turnaround.
Where the guys like to pull in, that like to pull you over.
Exactly where they look for us, and so. These calves scatter through that, and now they're running with eastbound traffic, and eastbound is just flowing.
Right.
I mean, people are slowing to gawk, but they're pretty much flowing. So I put the four-ways on, and I started slowing down, and I turned my dash cam on, and you could see on my dash cam a couple of calves get hit. And then about that time...
Did you hit any calves?
I didn't hit any calves.
Hey, can we turn that down, please? Thank you.
These cars come to a stop, obviously.
One of our producers he's playing games on the side.
That's the junior producing crew.
Yeah, he's He's getting worked up over here.
So they come to a stop, so I kind of went between them, turned the four-ways on, or left the four-ways on, and kind of blocked the road a little bit, the left lane anyways.
Yep.
And the one calf that got hit in the left lane was still alive. He just broke a leg. And so he was just sitting there kind of hanging out. And the car, all the it was a Prius, actually.
Oh, boy.
And
Don't tell me that.
All the windows were blown out of it.
I drove a Prius to the show tonight. I actually took my hat off about halfway there.
It's red, though. The calves would have seen it. They would have gotten out of the way.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so I pull over, and now there's people from the westbound side of the road that are already out of their cars because they're seeing what's going on.
Right, yeah.
And they're trying to see what's going on, and so somebody's yelling, "Here comes more! Here comes more!" And there's well, my trailer's got really bright lights on it,
right.
And so I turn all the lights on, and as
the exterior lights,
all the exterior lights, and as the calves start running down the median, I start roping them as they run by,
right?
And which usually I don't have a huge stack of ropes in my mid-tack where the light switches are, but I did. So I just started grabbing ropes, and I had 2 tied off to the ties on the trailer.
I actually saw a picture that you shared on Facebook that like the Florida cops took, I guess
the Highway Patrol, yeah.
The Highway Patrol shared it on their Facebook page, and their spelling was off. Yeah, they didn't have an Amish guy there to do the grammar, obviously. But
yeah, they were a little messed up.
Yeah.
But, they were real tired. They worked, which is strange to me, but they worked a murder case the night before, and they were working loose calves on the highway that night. So they had all told me like they really hadn't been to bed.
Right.
But so when the first state trooper showed up, I have a 3rd calf roped, and I'm trying to get either close to the tow hook on the truck or to the guardrail in the median because I'm just out of range, and I'm fighting this thing, trying to pull it with my hands, burning my hands up.
Where was your rope horse at? That's what I want to know. As a team.
I was working. I wasn't hauling my own. I wish I would have been this night, but I wasn't. And so this officer pulls up, and I'm struggling. I basically am sitting down, holding this thing, trying to hold the weight till it just quits struggling. And this state trooper pulls up, and he says, "What's going on here?" And I said, "Well, these calves are running down the highway." And he said, "Well, like, did you get in an accident?" And I said, "No, sir." I said, "But those 2 people back there did. That guy, he looks like he saw a ghost.
Right.
And his windows are all blown out of his car." I said, "I was just trying to get these calves off the road before any more of them get hit or hurt anybody." And so he said, "Well," he said, "you look like you know what you're doing, so I'm going to go ahead and go down there and check on these people." And I said, "All right." He said, "I'll be back." So I finally did get this sucker wrestled to the middle and tied to the guardrail. And he did come back about 15 minutes later. And he says, I don't really know exactly all what's going on here yet. He said, "But you seem to know what you're doing. Can you stay here and help us?"
Yeah, okay.
And about that time, it was actually Walton County, Florida sheriff showed up, and the animal control showed up.
Okay.
And the lady that was in charge of all that, the investigations and stuff for that, she asked me, she said, we really just don't know what to do. We have ropes and we have stuff, but we don't know what to do.
Right, but if you're not a team roper, somebody knows how to swing a rope, it's kind of like me going and trying to fix a Prius. I mean, it's not a good idea.
Yeah,
right?
It's like the Amish. Be like you wiring up lights in your new house or something.
Right,
yeah.
Dangerous. Lord knows I need more lights because I like to have lights.
Yeah, you and your lights. But yeah, so I said, well, she said, what do we need? And I said, well, this guardrail's solid. I said, how much further is this guardrail solid for?
Right.
And she said, at least 10 miles.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, that's perfect. Let's set up a catch pen, basically.
Right.
And we'll run all these calves down the guardrail into this catch pen, and then you can load them in whatever trailer you're going to load them in to get them out of here. And they actually worked really quick. They got several panels out there quick. They got an arena within like 2 miles to take them all to.
Yep.
They did a really good job of communicating with each other, and but she kept getting calls from everybody. Hey, we got calves. There was at one point we pushed calves from 7.5 miles. So they had run 7.5 miles. We pushed them 7.5 miles back.
Wow.
And then after that, they found one straggler. He was about 7 miles away on the off-ramp. And so she had left me back with the trailer, and she came flying back in her car, and she said, "Where's that guy that was roping him on foot?" And everybody kind of pointed at me, and so she said, "I need you right now. There's a calf running off the off-ramp." And so, I mean, there were points during this deal that I'm swinging a rope out the side of an F-150, and she's running up on him, and I'm trying to rope him in a truck.
That's like the best thing, though. I mean, like, what a good spot to be at where you're actually needed, and it's like it's kind of fun, right?
Well, it was fun, and I hadn't really gotten to rope in a while, so it was pretty good. But it was one of those things, I could have very easily kept going. I was through the deal. I was through the accident.
Yep.
I could have got where I was supposed to go and been done and kept on going. It put my entire trip back about 24 hours.
Yep. But you got to help out and do something.
There's not a whole lot of times that I can stop and help. And there's times with the bright lights and the jack and all the tire equipment that I have, I do stop and help people change tires.
Yeah.
I do that because it's just quick.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I have all the tools and the setup really, so I do that. But there's not a whole lot of times that I can help do something that's of some sort of significance.
Especially working with
this was that case.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's good. So let's talk about hauling horses real quick. So what you do basically is you go from East Coast to West Coast. Where all do you go picking up horses, dropping them off?
My particular main route that I drive is Texas to Michigan.
Okay.
I do a lot of close within a state, and I mean like New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, that type of thing. And then, of course, anything in between Michigan and Texas.
Okay. So and for most of the people you're hauling horses for, what are they going from a show to a show? Or are they just small business?
I don't haul the shows.
Okay. So all right. So so it's just people that bought a rope horse in Michigan or Louisiana or somewhere, and they needed hauled. Is that what
pretty much all private hauling? It's
all
person to person.
Okay.
New sales, mainly sight unseen sales.
Okay.
That I pick up from the seller and drop off to the new owner or buyer.
And so, if people want to contact you for a hauling a horse, what do they need to do?
Either on Facebook, STR Transport, or my personal name, Stephen Stiteler.
Okay, and they can just send you a message?
Yep, send me a message or my phone number's all over everywhere. So
you can find him at STR Transport if you want to send him a private message, or your phone number's up there where people can call you, right? Call him or shoot him a text, and he can haul your horse for you. Do you give out it depends on the haul, where it's going from?
Yeah, it all depends.
Is it based on
the
mileage?
Trip.
Yeah, okay.
It's based on mileage as the start, but then it depends on the trip. Like there are some people that want just a private haul, that they have one or two of their own, and they want and they'll pay for the whole trailer to go if that's the way they want. Or I mean, mainly we fill either a 4, 6, or 8 horse trailer. Okay. And I work with a couple other people. One lady picks up at my house twice a month and goes to California. Okay. And I work with some folks out of Wisconsin that come down very frequently, and I send a lot of stuff Wisconsin, Minnesota with them, and then they share some work back with me. It's a little bit harder for those guys to share work with me because they cover such a big ground anyway. But we do. I mean, they share some back, and I.
So a lot of you transporters work together to try to help each other out.
Not a lot of us, but
there's
a select group of us that do. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do a commercial break real quick, and you're going to help me do commercials. This is your part of the commercial break. That's all you have to do. I'll do this part.
Can I take a commercial break?
Do a commercial break. Let's hear your commercial break.
Never mind.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
You're good.
Okay. I want to say a quick thank you to the sponsors that help make this show possible, because they really just help us with some of our expenses, and so that we can get to bring people like Stephen Stiteler on with STR Transport to help promote their businesses, because our show is all about helping small business owners get in front of people all over the internet, because that's what Facebook is everybody all over the country, all over the world is on Facebook. So I want to say thank you to Texas Skid Steer. They're located in Springtown, Texas. They're a local business. You can find them online at texasskidsteer.com. Also, they do license to carry handgun classes, so if you want to get your handgun license, you can contact them, 817-726-7082. All of our information is at the bottom of the screen, so you can screenshot it, call them, text them, find them online. Also, the Beaded Cuff, they're located on Facebook. They make some very awesome Native American-inspired beadwork. They do earrings for the ladies, cuffs for guys or gals, whatever you want.
Where is the Beaded Cuff located?
They are actually located, they're actually originally from Texas, but they are located at a undisclosed area. Oh. So, classified information.
Perfect.
But
so also on my notes, we have a grilled cheese for $4.49.
That you're all about grilled cheese and
steak finger basket for $4.99.
Where is that at?
I don't know. Do they sell that at the Quick Mart? That's the
JC's Quick Mart.
That's the kids menu.
You eat off the kids menu, because last time I checked, we ate more off the adult menu.
Oh, I'm out of the little boys section, bud.
Yeah. All right. So, tell folks where they can find their burgers.
Is that what this is?
JC's Quick Mart.
JC's Quick Mart.
I just ate breakfast this morning at JC's Quick Mart.
That's what I heard you say that earlier, but when I'm looking at this, I'd figure that was a gas station or.
It's actually not a gas station. It's just a cool little place where you can stop in and buy snacks.
This is why advertising works right here, because you can explain
to people what we got.
So it's the JC Quick Mart. It's in Peaster, located at FM 920 and Precinct Road.
Yeah, absolutely, right on the corner. cool little spot.
If you can find it, anybody can.
If an Amish
Amish horse and buggy found it,
anybody can find it. Also, Miles Realty, they're located in Springtown, Texas. You can call them at 817-220-5339, or you can find them online at TommyMilesRealty.com. Also, I want to give a shout out to Kelvin Miles. He's running for Justice of the Peace of Precinct 1 of Parker County. The early voting is May 14th through the 18th, and the actual voting date is May 22nd. His slogan is honest, fair, and integrity, and I agree. Kelvin Miles is an awesome guy. I've known him for quite a few years, and he's running for Justice of the Peace. So make sure you guys get out and vote for him. I think he would be an awesome Justice of the Peace. And if you want to get married in Parker County, you can go to Kelvin Miles, and he'd probably marry you. I think that's what Justice of the Peace people do.
If it's not good enough for you, I'm not doing it.
Well, I'm not getting married in Texas. Otherwise, I would.
Well, that's your decision.
Okay, all right. Also,
or hers, I don't.
Also, the Music Center, which is actually where we're broadcasting from, they're located at 106 West Main Street in Azle, Texas, and they do all kinds of instrument lessons. So actually our producer, Green Bean, who is behind the scenes, he is a fiddle teacher here. They teach trumpet, cornet, French horn, baritone, tuba, flute, drums, piano, guitar, ukulele, bass, guitar, violin, and mandolin. And also they sell all these instruments like Heritage guitars right behind you, made in Kalamazoo, Michigan. How
Perfect.
About that? Catch me outside.
Yes, yeah. They ought to have me haul those.
Yeah, they ought to have.
That's precious cargo.
It is precious cargo.
That's precious cargo. I don't
know.
So
they sell tons of instruments here. So make sure you guys stop by and check them out. I'm going to take some of our comments from Facebook. Let's see. Nate Iyer said, "True story. So an older lady stopped in to tell me about the electronic logging rules. I asked what that has to do with me. She said it applies to me because I do some logging." Hold on. With a straight face, I told I'm friends with the cops, so I don't have to. Oh, man. All right, Nate Iyer. Nate Iyer is an ex-Amish guy, lives over in East Texas. So your dad said, Sam, ask him how much he got paid. Probably for roping these calves off the side of the road. Did you get a paycheck for that?
No. Is that what we're talking about?
Probably.
I thought maybe he was asking what I was getting paid to be on this show.
To be on the show? When are you running the SDR commercial?
Either way, we can start that anytime.
Okay, we'll do that.
I think I even sent you the information.
I think you did, but you never got back to me because
no, you never. Somebody was supposed to call me to get a credit card.
It was probably my producer.
It depends on the day of the week whether it's going to work or not, but you got to call.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. If you guys found any of this information useful or fun or exciting to watch, feel free to share this. If you're interested in having a spot on our show, advertising, or if you want to be on the show, send us an email at ybmarketingco@gmail.com, or you can send us a private message on Facebook, Live with Sam Yoder. Mr. Stephen, thank you for coming to be on the show. I appreciate it. This is your second go-around to come be on the show. I should be giving out a prize for coming back and being on the show.
I'll be here a third time.
Can you come host my show for me while I'm off getting married? No, you got to be at the wedding.
No, I'll be at the wedding. I wouldn't miss it.
Okay, all right.
I'll be there,
awesome.
So,
congratulations
on that again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm excited for it.
It'll be good. It'll be good stuff.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. She's in the audience, so we got to be nice.
I'm always nice.
Make sure y'all tune in next Wednesday night. We'll be back here 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And I guess that's all we got to say. Make sure you guys check out our sponsors because they're awesome folks. And make sure you check out SDR Transport on Facebook. Call him. Send him a message. If you need a horse hauled, that'll do.
We'll get it hauled.
Y'all have a good night. God bless you. Adios. We'll see you next week.